The next one is open. The next O is going to be open. And so for open, that's just praising God for what we've learned about him in this. As we're observing, maybe you don't have time to dig into the Greek. Let me go back to observe for a second. Maybe you don't have time to dig into the Greek or to read a commentary. And a lot of times we don't have time for that. Maybe you prefer to look up a word that struck you in the verse. And so you go look that word up and maybe do a search in the YouVersion app or a concordance and find what other places use that word or place in the Bible. That would be another great way to observe. Another way to observe, if you don't have time for that, and just like I am right now, I'm in the place in a season of my life where I don't have time to do this kind of digging on my own. I am really tired with some stuff that's going on right now and worn out, and I bet a lot of you are too. And so I just look for who God is there. Who is God in this verse? And in this verse, we can see God is present in hard circumstances. If that's all you see in this verse, that's enough. That itself, even without the Hebrew, without the reading other Bibles, that's a lot of meat. Just seeing that God is present with us in the darkness. And that's a lot of there. Then we take that idea and we transfer it over to the open, because as we're listening to God's word and what he says, as we're observing the scriptures in context and learning more about what we're reading, then we're going to naturally be learning things about God. And so we want to take a moment to focus our eyes purposefully on him and what he's done in our life. So here in this part of the study, I said, reflect today on how God has been with you in the hard times in the past when you felt there was no hope. Write out your prayer below. And so for this day, in my journal, I wrote, Father, thank you for being there with me in the dark. Those times when I feared the only light at the end of the tunnel was an oncoming train. And I bet you have felt the same. And so in that moment, I just thanked God for being with me, for being present. And this helps us to remember the blesser instead of the blessings. It is good to thank God for his good gifts. Every morning, I write down 3 things I'm thankful to God for. But in those moments, we want to still focus on the blesser and not just the blessings, because the blessings come and go. Our health, our finances, our homes, our families, our friends, our circumstances, all of those ebb and flow throughout the different seasons of our life. Some of them change through hard things. Some of them change because seasons of life change. Where you're at changes. But we need to remember that the blesser, the one who provides those things, is always the same, and he is always with us. And so when we open our heart in this way, it really helps to focus our eyes on the blesser and not just his blessings, which is really important.